Hello and welcome to another week of Mishlei. I am your host, Rabbi David Katz. And we are getting ready to finish our verse. Last week we really did discipline well, military style. Right? It was all about the military. You need to be militant in your life. The more militant you become, the better off it is for you. It just is. What can you do? It just is. Okay. So now we want to know the word wise. And when we're done with wise, we're going to stick it in with discipline. Remember, we have high and low? High righteousness, low righteousness. Everything is high and low. High equity, low equity. Meaning holy work and non-holy work. So we want to know the holy wise and non-holy wise, which will go with holy discipline and non-holy discipline. Miriam, wise. This is interesting. Wise is like, well, it's not very economic wise. It's not a good choice. So that version of wise, right? Economic wise, it's not smart. Wonder if it fits here. To accept. You can say that wise is an adverb to accept wise. I bet that's probably the answer. It's that stupid. You know that? What do you think about that? I bet you that's the answer. Accept wise. You follow me? One or two? Yeah. Everyone thinks it's wise discipline, but it might be accept wise. What's the Hebrew? Was is the Hebrew? Because we never think of using the word wise in that way in Hebrew. Maybe you can. L'das chochma u'musar lahavin emribina lekachat musar haskell. Lekachat, to take, to accept. Lekachat musar, to take musar wise. How do you say wise in a sentence? Workwise. Hey, Loretta, how's life treating you? Well, work-wise, it's a little boring, but my personal life is quite exciting. Right? Type 1. Work-wise, I'm a little bit bored, but life-wise, I'm having a good time. Work-wise. Life-wise. Well, likewise, other people that live in America are also having a good time. Likewise. Likewise. Lekachat musar haskell. Taking musar wise. That's hot stuff. I bet that's the answer. I bet you any money that is the answer. How much you want to bet? The word is just discipline. Now, we know that there's two kinds of discipline. But the discipline is elevated not from wise discipline, because that's an oxymoron or a redundant statement. Right? It's just redundant. Discipline is wise discipline. But if we say to accept wise, how you accept the discipline is what elevates it. I'll bet you $1 billion that's what it is. I'm not going to say it's 1A because it's too dodgy, but I bet you it is. I bet you it is. By what? The Torah of the Iker. Let's see what wise means, right? manner or way. See that? The to accept way. A way to accept discipline. Isn't that nice? The accepted way. The accepted way of discipline. That is, man, I'll tell you, that is tight. I don't know if I've ever seen something that tight. You see that? I mean, that is really nice. The accepted way of discipline. Isn't that what we're trying to say? Just because you have to be militant doesn't mean you come to my house like a soldier. There's an accepted discipline here. You got to take your shoes off, but you can sit down, take a seat. You can help yourself to a glass of water. Just take your shoes off. That's the accepted discipline here. Here, give me your coat. Don't you hang it up. Give me your coat. Now you can come in and be comfortable. This is how we do things. It's the accepted discipline. You know what? I bet you it's definitely both the answers. It's not a this or that. But that's a very, very nice way of saying it. Wow. 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 So here, the origin and etymology of wise in that way. Middle English from Old English, akin to Old High German, manner, or Greek, adus, form, more at wit, to see. It's the revelation. You see that? It's the smart revelation. Have wit. See, I don't want you coming in and showing me your badge. Have some wit. Hey, Rabbi Katz, it's nice to see you. Would you like my jacket? No, Loretta, I wouldn't. But can you take your shoes off, please? Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Rabbi Katz. See what I'm saying? Have some wit. Don't be an automaton or a robot. Hey, Rabbi Katz, I'm really thirsty. Good to see you. Would you happen to have a glass of water? No, actually, I made you tea. Oh, that's fine as well. See, it's a wit. It's a human aspect. Because Solomon put the word sechel, he's saying, be a human. When you go to the bank, Merv, how's it going, old buddy Merv? Hey, Rabbi Katz, good to see you. Put your bag down. Okay, Merv. Don't shoot. I'm innocent. It's character. It's come to life in your militant world. If we're gonna have rules, hey Ado, good to see you. If we're gonna have rules, have fun with it. This is not the military. Let's scroll down now, Ado. You should see the link above on Merriam-Webster. Scroll down. Wow, let's see here. How deep does this go? Okay, here we go. So now we're going to try using wise the other way as an adjective. The first one was a noun. Accept wise was a noun. To accept wise. Accept wise. Acceptance wise. Wise, adjective. Brace yourself. It's going to be deep stuff. Having or showing wisdom or knowledge, usually from learning or experiencing many things. Loretta Winar, remember we said what Moses did with the Torah? He collected the Iker terms, correct? So was Moses wise as an adjective? Yes. Moses was wise. So now, if you're going to come into my house, do you have to be wise? Yes. Now, you guys are not Israelis. So you don't know my culture. Therefore, the more wise you become, the better off you'll be. Having wisdom or knowledge, or showing wisdom or knowledge, from learning or experiencing many things about Israel. Hey, Rabbi Katz, do you have any falafel? We're not saying be cliche, but be mindful of the law. In Japan, I think you do got to take your shoes off. Or wherever the cultures are. I know Lars came to my house once, the Norwegian Gear, and he took his shoes off when he came in, his whole family. Because in Norway, you take your shoes off. He was showing me his culture. So guess what I'm going to do when I go to Norway? Taking my shoes off. Not a question. So it's that kind of thing. That's how the best way to get discipline is. Didn't I always say you guys got to be a Talmud Chacham? You got to know Torah. And I'm talking reality Torah. You got to know where to hang your hat, where to put your coat, what kind of drink, what kind of shoes. Just, be wise. And you don't have to know my culture. Just be aware that there's something called taking your shoes off, wiping your shoes off. Where do we sit? I mean, it's really learning the tree of life on a deep level, paying attention. Because remember, everywhere you go is driving school. You can always learn. If one guy in your life ever said take your shoes off, you can bet there's something called shoe wisdom, type 1. If someone said, give me your coat, you can bet there's something called coat wisdom. If someone laughed at you, but you don't think they were being rude, there's something called, why is this guy laughing at me? I don't know. People are funny. I don't know. But he's probably, if it's definitely not making fun of you, find out what the culture is. If the guy kisses you on the cheek, man to man, chances are that's what they do. In Israel, they do that. Pay attention. There's something called kissing a guy on the cheek. I don't know. People do it. What can you do? You gotta, anything that happens to you, you gotta understand and think, why is it happening to me? So that way you know the concept in the Iker, it exists. Based on good reasoning or information, showing good sense or judgment. When Addo comes to my house and I say, Addo, can you take your shoes off, please, sir? He's not to say, why? That's wrong. Don't ask me why when I told you take your shoes off. You are displaying a lack of judgment. I told you it's my house, take your shoes off. Don't ask me why, just do it. When I come to your house and you say, Rabbi Katz, can I take your coat? Don't say, why? Because he asked you for it. He's probably got a better reason than you do. And if not, then you better run like the wind and get out of there. The guy's trying to steal your coat. It's probably not likely. Saying things that are rude or insulting. That's interesting. That's a very interesting, wise guy. See that? Wise guy. How's that work for us? To accept wise discipline. Oh, good Lord. Can you believe that? King Solomon's telling you a really big chiddush. This is really massive. Wow. To accept, Loretta, you're never going to make it in life. You need to accept that. Type 1. So what Solomon's saying, is to accept wise discipline. If I insult you, you got to understand there's a reason why you're being insulted. Remember we talked about kicking the shins? So you go to the bank and you were not paying attention. Loretta went on, you were on your cell phone. And Merv says, hey, stupid lady, give me your purse for the metal detector. And if it was a 1950s film, you could say, oh, you're such a wise guy. Merv is such a wise guy. Guess what? Accept it. He is an uncultured, vulgar man, and he called you a stupid lady. That does not give you the right to kick Merv in the shin. You cop that? Now, if he's really abusive, that's one thing. But I don't think you're going to sue Merv because he said, hey, stupid lady, put your bag in. Okay, it was very, very disgusting. But honestly, does that give you the right to run recluse in the bank saying, Merv insulted me, give me $1 million since we're in a bank? And you see people try that. You know? Hey, dumb guy, move over there. You can't do that. You can't call me dumb guy. I'm going to talk to my lawyer. I want the manager of this branch. Give me the lawyer of this branch. I'm not going anywhere. 10 times out of 10, that guy is going to be shut up, sat down, kicked out, and made to look like an idiot. The world is filled with nasty people. Okay, it's not a chiddush. We get called stupid and dumb and annoying. Hey, blind lady, for not giving me your bag. You want to get through the metal detector? Solomon's saying, accept it. Okay, Merv is crass and unrefined. Period. Type 1. Accept it. You don't need to talk to Merv. You don't need to respect Merv. But you're going to run into these people. Let them do, my Rosh Hashiva used to say, let them do their song and dance, and then they'll leave you alone. I guarantee you, if you just tighten, close your lips and throw away the key, Merv will not mess with you once you cross from Merv. He insults you. Just, you know what? Merv, I accept it. Keep walking. He's not going to chase you with his gun and look to harass you. Now, obviously, if it is harassment, sexual harassment or whatever, then you contact the authorities. That's no longer being a wise guy. That's called being a Russia and a sinner and a disgusting individual, and he needs arrested. That's not that you don't call a pedophile a wise guy. Oh, that pedophile, he was a wise guy. No, he was a disgusting human being. We're talking about the level of a wise guy. You understand what a wise guy is? When you run into a wise guy, you accept it. Because there's no answering a wise guy. What are you going to say back to him? I'm a bigger wise guy than you? No one likes a wise guy. So that's what Solomon's saying. Accept it. Okay, you guy's a wise guy. What can you do? Hey lady, you want to put your bag in the metal detector? When? Tomorrow. Put it in tomorrow. Okay, you're not a nice guy. I wasn't paying attention. You didn't need to be rude. Here you go. In the machine. Goodbye, Merv. Have a nice day, Merv. Have a nice day. Like New York is filled with these people. Every time I fly to the New York airport and you ask for help, it's like, excuse me, sir, can you help me? Why me? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess that's my fault. All right. That was the simple definition. Now we go to the full definition. Very good. Characterized by wisdom. Marked by deep understanding, keen discernment, and a capacity for sound judgment. Isn't that nice? You walk into Rabbi Katz's house, and you want to I don't know how to say this, to accept wise discipline, just it's kind of like boom, boom, boom. You want to be characterized by wisdom. When I ask for your coat, don't say, huh? Marked by deep understanding. Start paying attention. When I take your coat and I go and hang it up on a coat rack, that's a sign that I'm cultured and kind and taking care of you. So don't say, huh, ever again in my home. Pay attention. Meaning you'll know where you're entering by whatever reciprocal relationship we have. Keen discernment. Why did he take my coat in the other room? Pay attention. See if I come back and tell you. Oh, I had to take your coat because we just painted the house. The walls are wet. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, where did it go? Where are you going? What are you doing? But don't ask me, hey, you, what are you doing? Don't ask me that. Watch, chill out, check it out, see what's going on. Deep discernment, open your eyes, breathe, and a capacity for sound judgment. Okay, let's see if the guy's psycho, and he's looking to kill me or steal my jacket. I'm guessing not, because you know what's even worse than an uncultured person, right? It's a paranoid person. Don't be paranoid. Have sound judgment. There's no reason to think you walked in the house of a psycho and you have good judgment. Keep the sound judgment. Exercising or showing sound judgment. Prudent. And I don't know what prudent means. You know, was it a sound judgment going there? Meeting this person. Let's see what prudent means. You guys know what prudent means? Prudent. I don't know what prudent means. Do you guys know what prudent means? Honestly, before we look it up, does anybody know what prudent means? I hope you say two, because you don't know. I guarantee you don't know. Having or showing careful good judgment. That's interesting. It's a chiddush. I mean, seriously, on the spot, I wouldn't have thought that. Having or showing careful good judgment. He's a very prudent man. Characterized by, arising from, or showing prudence. Marked by wisdom or judiciousness. Shrewd in the management of practical affairs. Marked by circumspection. Discreet. Frugal. Wow, what a great word. Type 1 for the sake of it being a great word. That is what I'm after. I am definitely striving to become a prudent man. That much I can tell you. Isn't that a great word? Wow. Wow, that is the essence of Bina right there. I'm printing this out. This is too good not to. That is some word. Wow. I never heard this word like that before. Have you guys ever heard prudent like this? Man, I'm going to look it up afterwards. That is a fantastic word. That is the essence of an understanding soul, of a refined soul. Being able to gauge from your eyeballs what's going on. Wow. What does judiciousness mean? Again, having or showing good judgment, having, exercising, or characterized by sound judgment. So it's a reciprocal argument. Shrewd, discreet. Let's look up the word provident. What does that mean? Careful about planning for the future and saving money for the future. Making provision. Oh, so it's provision. Wow, this is really the essence of wisdom. This is in Hebrew. The word is actually called yoetz. Yoetz. It's advice, which is also the word seichel. We are right on the money, guys. Seichel is where good advice comes from. So the word wise has let us in on the real essence of seichel. A lot of people don't know what seichel really is. I only know it as advice, but now I see that it's yoetz, provident, frugal, discreet. Wow, what a word. Discreet, not likely to be seen or noticed by many people. Having or showing discernment or good judgment in conduct, and especially in speech. Capable of preserving prudent silence. Unpretentious, modest, unobtrusive, unnoticeable. What a word! Wow. I'm getting my life mission here. I'm not joking you. This is what it's about. Really incredible. So that's what wise means. It's a huge word. Holding your cards close to your chest, checking things out. Really, this is master craftsmanship right here. Evidencing or hinting at the possession of inside information. In the know or knowing, right? You act like you've been there before. You act like you have insight, because the word sechel or yoetz also is insight. You have it. You're seeing insight. Possessing inside information. The police got wise to his whereabouts. Do a little bit of research before you go into something. Crafty or shrewd. Aware, I'm going to look up shrewd in a second. Aware of or informed about a particular matter. Was none the wiser. Yeah, God is informing you. This is called prophecy, folks. No joke. This is really being attuned to the mazel of God informing you. Skilled in magic or divination. See that? That's what they say in the vulgar English, but really it's prophecy. What does the word shrewd mean? Having or showing an ability to understand things and make good judgments. Mentally sharp or clever. It means you're able to hop on the location. This is really an incredible. This is Joseph. If you remember a long time ago when we did the first or second verse, Joseph was bright and brilliant. Now we're understanding the features of Joseph. Because it's the same word, sechel. This is what Joseph was. Bright and brilliant, but now we're seeing what it looks like. Joseph would hop everything about you as you were with Joseph. That's right. That's sechel. So now, to accept wise discipline. So acceptance. Acceptance is sechel. And acceptance means you have to change your ways, discipline. I accept Loretta is always going to be 20 minutes late for class. What can I do? Class is now starting a half an hour late every day. Accept it. So what are you doing? You're giving me musar. I have to change my ways. I'm accepting you. But it's accept-wise. It's beneficial for you to be in class rather than kick you out like some Neanderthal. So I'm having smart acceptance. I accept it. Loretta's late. Class is now 9:30 every day, right? You got me to change, and I have acceptance. Exactly. You understand? I mean, this is how it happens in relationships. I guess John is just not going to put his dishes in the sink. Do we get divorced over John? I mean, if it's a game changer, it's a game changer. But otherwise, I accept it. You know what? I would have thought my husband puts his dishes in the sink. My husband doesn't put his dishes in the sink. What can you do? I love the guy anyways, she says. Again, now, if the husband is like we said about the pedophile, that's now called abusive. Right? When my husband throws everything around the house and acts like an animal, I have to accept that. No, that's called abusive. That you do not accept. That is called abusive. Okay. I actually went kind of fast. Now let's go to the etymology. Etymology. Wise. Notice that now the mistake that I made, I would have thought wise means wisdom. Guess what? It doesn't. Does it, Loretta? No. Wise does not mean wisdom. Wisdom in Hebrew is chokhmah. Wise is sechel. Big difference. Sechel is keter in Kabbalah. Now there is a wisdom in keter. So we understand wise. Well, Rabbi Katz, work-wise, I'm kind of tired, I gotta tell you. But family-wise, I'm okay. What are we saying? Work-wise, I'm tired. That means you don't want to hop anymore, do you, Loretta? If you're work-wise, you're tired. It means, they want me to put my coat over there. I got to sit in the chair. I can't stand up. The boss will yell, Loretta, sit down in your chair. Okay. Then we got to fill out forms all the time. They're always changing the procedures and protocols. I just don't want to do it anymore. I filled out 20 million forms. I don't want to, state your name, date of birth, where you're from. I can't take it anymore. I don't have accept-wise. Exactly. But if I say, well, Rabbi Katz, work-wise has never been better. Well, tell me about your work. Well, it's very interesting. I work for a magazine, and we're always interviewing. It's a Zoom magazine, and we're always interviewing different member workers of different zoos across America. I quite like it. Work-wise, I'm pretty okay. So what are you saying? Well, to accept wise discipline. Because I'm familiar with all the different zoos. So when I say, who are you? Bob Jones. I work with the pandas. So now, guess what's going to happen to you, Loretta? You're going to say, in your mind, you're going to say, the panda guy. Wow, I bet you got to feed him a lot, huh? Yeah, how'd you know? Well, last week I was with the grizzly bear guy, and he told me they went through like 5 feedings a day. Yeah, pretty interesting. But the pandas, they're vegetarians, so it's not the same as the grizzly, but they do. They also eat 5 times a day. Yeah, I bet you got problems with the bugs. Oh, don't tell me about the bugs. I have all kind of problems with the bugs. Yeah, I figure. Because the cage of the pandas is next to the giraffes, and the giraffes also have a bug problem. You see? You're just able to draw from wisdom and life, and you're relating, you're connecting. What's the alternative? Where are you from? The zoo? Yeah, I'm with the pandas. Well, is that what is that? Is that a bear? What's a panda? I forget. Is that a bear or is it like a kangaroo? And you're just trying. You really don't think it's a kangaroo. You're just trying to be talkative because you're just nervous and you're not sexual. He's like, well, it's a bear. Oh, well, are they usually more black than white or more white than black? How would you describe that? Well, Loretta 1R, is that really a question? Do we need to talk about the ratios of the colors of the panda? I don't really know. I never thought to ratio out the colors of the pandas. See, so you're not getting into this guy's head at all. You're not taking social cues. You're not really with him. You're not showing any wise nothing. You're kind of frankly a waste of time. And you're going to get fired from that job. Workwise is not a good move for you. But if Workwise, you hop it, Workwise, it's a good move. Okay. Wise. Here we go for the etymology. All right. It's an adjective, it's a noun, and it's a verb. All right. What did we say the adjective was? The second one. The noun was the top one. And the verb. We didn't see a verb. We got to see now. We're going to see what the verb is. After the adjective and the noun. Old English, learned, sagacious, cunning. Now, I like the word cunning. In Hebrew, the word for cunning is arum. Edo, you know what arum means? In Hebrew, arum, cunning. Here's how you define cunning in Torah. Edo, you come to my house, and you see me making gefilte fish, okay? And I don't notice that you're paying attention. I'm just doing my Shabbos food, and you're in Israel visiting Rabbi Katz. And you come into my kitchen, you say, Rabbi Katz, what is your opinion of ger in the 21st century and if they should go to the mikveh? And I say, well, Edo, it's a tremendous question. Why don't you sit down and have a glass of orange juice, Edo, and I'll tell you all about it. So I tell you all about ger and these things. Type 1. And I didn't realize while I was telling you this, you were actually paying attention how to make gefilte fish. That's called cunning. You were watching me do it. Oh, so they don't have bones in gefilte fish. Interesting. And you're paying attention and noticing what I'm doing. So you go back to Cape Town and you tell Jacques, why don't we make gefilte fish for Shabbos? Jacques says, well, I do. I have no idea how to make gefilte fish. You say, not to worry, Jacques. I was in Israel, and I saw how Rabbi Katz did the whole thing. He went and bought a fish, he grounded it up, and he did this and then that, and a little of this and a little of that. We can do it. So you were cunning. You were watching me on my way, and you had the wisdom developed by paying attention. That's called cunning. You know why cunning also has a bad connotation? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Because you watch me go home every night and you realize I don't lock my door. So by watching and observing me, you realize you can make a good robbery in my house because I don't lock my door. So by watching every day for 3 weeks, you decided to rob me because you paid attention to what I was doing and you learned the wisdom. You hop? Type 1. It can be used for good. It can be used for bad. Prudent. There's that word. Prudent. A wise. So now finding a wise person is not just, a scholar. A prudent man or woman is wise. That's very powerful. You can be very wise, but not a Torah scholar. There's the proof of the pudding. By being experienced, having the power of discerning and judging rightly, My problem is this, and this is maybe an ethical question. Ready for this ethical question? I will say there's something called wise people, not in Torah. Prudence. There's something called wisdom from Torah. Torah wisdom is the highest, says the Torah. We have to believe that. And that you can learn prudent wisdom from Torah wisdom. Can a prudent person know Torah wisdom by being prudent? Because that's what's happening today with all these rabbis in the fringe and the kiruv. They're not scholars, but they are prudent men, and they're using prudence to claim Torah wisdom. Yeah, I think I'm inclined to say 2. But it's a real question, because that's what's going on. That is what's going on. To see, hence to know, vision, aware, cunning, to know, wit. This is from Lao Tzu. This should be pretty good. Ready? This is from Lao Tzu. A wise man has no extensive knowledge. He who has extensive knowledge is not a wise man. Exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah, you got to be able to get the revelation. It's about the revelation. You know the principles, but don't say, oh, well, when you go to Rabbi Katz's house, give him your jacket because he'll take your jacket. Then take your shoes off. Then walk in 4 steps and ask him how he's doing. How you doing, Rabbi Katz? I'm okay. Great. Then go sit on his couch because he likes it when you sit on his couch. And he'll tell you all about Torah. Then ask him for a glass of tea so that he has tea there. And then he'll ask you Earl Grey or chamomile. Take the Earl Grey. He'll have it hot for you. That's called a robot. That's not a wise man. Then, of course, there's the wise guy. And there is something called the wise guy. There is a connection. That's what he's saying. Remember, we have to accept the wise guy as well. You know what it really is? Solomon's saying, don't be afraid to have a sense of humor. There is humor. There's wisdom in humor. Because a lot of these guys in Torah, they think humor is illegal. It's not. And if someone's a little bit obnoxious, it might not be the best trait, but it's, as Chaim would say, it's better than stealing hubcaps. Meaning it doesn't go sour if someone makes an ill-advised wisecrack. You see what I'm saying? It's not great, okay? It's not the preferable way. Someone makes a wise joke on you on your expense. Solomon's saying you have the right to be offended, but you should really try to rise above it. Because it's just what people do. They're in moron man. They're not thinking. Just overlook it. You don't have to. You have the right to walk out and say you're a jerk. But you're just going to burn bridges that are unnecessary. You're being really frum. You're being really stringent on yourself in wisdom. And look at Solomon in Ecclesiastes. You can say that's the essence of what Ecclesiastes is about. Hanging out with wisecrackers. You see what I'm saying? Solomon injected himself there to see, is it really detrimental to be around people that don't fear God with their wisdom? It's not preferable. Solomon said that. In the end, keep the Torah and the mitzvahs and fear God. But he didn't say stay away. Like as in forbidden to enter. He's letting you know, this is what's going to happen. That was the adjective. The noun way of proceeding or manner. Right? You want to be wise. I want to get revelation, way, fashion, custom, habit, manner, condition, state, circumstance. Now, circumstance is a great word. God is the emanator, and he emanates circumstances to us. See, you were going to come over to my house, and we were going to have a nice talk. You didn't know that my kid's goldfish died, did you? Very sad. We lost a goldfish. The kid's going berserk. My goldfish died! The wife is having a nervous breakdown over it because there's a party at school tomorrow. The kids need to be in bed. And you thought you were walking into a calm, nice night with Rabbi Katz. What are you walking into? A disaster. There's like vomit on the couch because the baby puked, because we can't clean it up, because the little kid's going crazy. You got to accept that. It's a circumstance. God put you in a circumstance. That's why you have to deal with Merv. What are you going to do? Not go to the bank because of Merv? There's a circumstance called God makes unhappy men named Merv work at banks. We're not paying Donald Trump to take your bag at a bank. God pitches the circumstance. It's your job to chop it. Everything is a circumstance. They say accept it. God's providence, 100%. Ashkocha pratis. Exactly that, Edo, says the Ramchal. Exactly that. Way, manner, like, this is where you get likewise or clockwise. That's right. Wow, so okay, we got it. So circumstance is when you say likewise, clockwise. Hey, Loretta, how you doing work-wise? Hey, Loretta, how you doing work-wise? What did I ask you? Hey, Loretta, what are the circumstances with your work? Get it? Well, Rabbi Katz, work-wise, I'm doing quite well, thank you. Well, Rabbi Katz, the circumstances at work are quite acceptable. Oh, really, Loretta? Why is it so work-wise okay? Well, Loretta, why are the circumstances okay? Well, my manager lets me do what I want, so I don't have a Merv. We have a lunch break next door to a sandwich shop. I get a great sandwich. It's actually low carb and low calorie. There's a place to walk on my lunch break for 10 minutes. And the girl I work with is really fun, and we like to have a nice time talking. Well, Loretta, it sounds like work-wise you really are okay. Well, Loretta, it sounds like the circumstances of your new job are quite acceptable. You cop that? So what you're saying is you feel comfortable when you go to work and the girl at work says, hey, Loretta, I'm making a cup of coffee. Can I get you one? Yeah, please. 2 sugars and a little bit of cream. Oh, okay. I remember from yesterday. Would you like a napkin with that? Yes, please. You see what I'm saying? You're into each other's headspace so much that it's accept-wise. You're not going to step on her toes because you're conscious of not stepping on her toes. It's a good circumstance. It's a good situation. Work-wise is good. How's work-wise, Loretta? Not good. Not good. Not good. Work with Merv. Wow. Are you saying work-wise is not good? Are you saying the circumstances at work are not good? Yeah, say they're not good. I can't get through to Merv. And now the verb. Make wise or knowing. Wise up. Well, Loretta, you should really wise up. Wise up, gal. Wise up. It's a verb. So to accept wise, discipline. Wow, that's hot. That's a new angle. See that? To accept wise, discipline. Loretta, you need to wise up. Wise up. That's what I'm saying is, hey, Loretta, you need discipline. To accept wise, discipline. Wise up, you need to accept it, and you need to be disciplined with it. So he's focusing on the word wise. You are wise deficient. You see that? You are wise deficient. You need to accept wise discipline. So we have the isolation term, to accept wise discipline, the verb. Then we have the noun, workwise, right? To accept wise discipline. And then we have to accept wise discipline. If that's not perfect, you know what? I give up on you people. Is that not perfect? Wise can either be wise discipline, it can be wise by itself, or it can be on the tail end of accept. To accept wise, to accept wise discipline, to accept wise discipline. That is absolutely amazing. The word secha is either by itself with the word discipline, musar, or lakachat, to accept. And that, my friends, ends the verse. Next week, Loretta Wanar, please tell me to do the Vilna Gaon on the verse. And we are cruising for a bruising. After that, we're ready to start the next verse. Mazel tov to you guys. I think we ended with quite the bang. Quite the bang. Unless you want to squeeze in one more. The word to, T-O. You know what? Let's squeeze in one more. Next week, let's do to. In fact, Loretta, please tell me this next week to look up the word to, T-O, and the Vilna Gaon as well. We'll do that next week. I want to see what to accept means. There's accept and to accept. Okay? Tell me to look up to. And I already see it. It's called to accept. You see that, Edo? To accept. There's something called accept and to accept. We got to figure out what the word to means. And we'll do the Vilna Gaon. That's all she wrote. Have a good week. See you for Dinim. And next week again, too, in the Vilna Gaon. See you out there.